This is Dave, the guru, and another tutorial using GameSalad. So in this video of part 5 of our custom collision animation, I'm going to go ahead and show those of you who need a little help doing touch controls how to set that up in here. So I brought in the knife stuff that I didn't finish. I've got that all set up. And so I've gone over and I've made 4 attributes. So I've made 4 integer attributes: walk left, walk right, spear, and knife. And essentially what we're going to do is we're going to trigger these like a keyboard up and down, and we're just going to trigger them. They're either going to be 1 or 0. 1 means active, like pressed is down, like the keyboard is down. 0 means it's up. Okay? So now let's go into our controller actor, and I basically put all of these into a group with my keyboard controls so I can turn them off. And this way, if I was doing a Steam game or a computer game, I could have both sets of controls in here, and I could just turn the group on and off depending on what I'm doing in the publishing system. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and I'm going to close that up, and I'm going to call this touch controls. That way we don't have to redo all this code. And so we're going to just change a lot of these to their associated external attributes that we're going to be controlling with our touch actors on our control buttons on the scene. So for left, we're going to say if game walk left is 1, we want you to be 0. If attribute game walk right is 1, we want you to be 1. Okay, that takes care of our facing stuff. And then so in here, we got our game facing attribute that can stay. So we're just going to replace these here. So this is our left key. It's up, so that means 0. So we're going to say when attribute game dot walk left is 0, and attribute game dot walk right is 0, and attribute game dot spear is 0, and attribute game dot knife is 0. So now we're going to go ahead and we're just going to use this, and then we'll keep this stuff for a minute, and then we'll delete it as we do each one, because these are basically have all the same variables in them. So that's our idle left set up, and then we're going to go ahead and just copy that, and we'll close it to make sure we've done it. We'll change it to right, and we'll go ahead and change this to 2, and then we're going to change facing to 1, because that means right, just like, I don't know why that happened, just like this one. So now we've set that up. We can eliminate that, and we'll go ahead and copy this again, and we'll change this to walk left, and we'll go ahead and we want the facing to be 0, and we want walking left, which is the first one. This is why I like it to order everything, doing everything left, right. And this is going to be 3. 3. And so now we can delete that. And we're going to go ahead and copy this. And we'll close idle up. And we'll close walk left up. And so for right, we want our facing to be 1. We want this to be 0. And we want the right facing attribute condition to be 1, and everything else. And then this is 4. And we want to change this to right. And that one's done, and we can delete this. And we'll go ahead and work on our attacks. So we'll copy this, and we'll say spear left. And so we want the facing to 0. Left is 0. And we want this is 0. We don't want any other of those conditions going. And we want our spear to be 1 means we're pushing the spear button, and this is going to be 5. And we can go ahead and delete this spear left, and we will go ahead and copy this. And for this one, since it's just one condition for the spear, we're just going to change the facing direction here to 1. We can leave that other one set to 1 because this is still a spear attack. And that's going to be 6 because that's our right is a 6. And we can go ahead and delete our spear. And then we can go ahead and duplicate this. Close this. And we'll call this knife left. And so left is going to be 0. And then we don't want the spear anymore. It's going to be inactive, and we want the knife at 1. And this is going to be 7. And so we can go ahead and delete that. And one more. And we'll change this to right. And we'll change this facing to 1. And why it keeps doing that. And we'll change this to 8. And then we can delete the knife here. And we have all our commands for our touch controls. So let's turn that on because that could be a problem. And let's go back here and let's go in and make a couple buttons. So let's go ahead and let's see. I had some, let me find a couple buttons I have here. I have some Game Salad stuff here. Pinball Krauton. I had that other UI, Game Salad UI. There we go. So let's grab this triangle pointer here. And we'll also grab, let's grab these 2 check boxes just for the heck of it. And we'll come in and let's grab the pointer here. So this will be left. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and open it up. And we'll just uncheck movable. And we're going to go under the graphics tab and we're going to say flip horizontally. Actually, I'll do that on the scene because I'm going to use this. No, I can do it in here because I'm going to make another actor. So what we want to do is this will be walk left. When actor sees event, touch is pressed. We are going to go ahead and change the attribute. Game walk left to 1. And then in the otherwise section, we're going to go ahead and just say when you're not pressed, go back to 0. And we're going to take care of that button. And let's go ahead and grab this into a custom. And let's go back out. And this one here, we can just duplicate. Let's just grab the Option key and duplicate it. And we'll call this right. And that can stay going the same way. And we're just going to change these around to game dot walk right, game dot walk right. And that can stay facing right. So let's go ahead and test out these buttons. So if we drag this on, it's going to flip. So as we can see, and then let's go ahead and grab our right button here and there we go. Set that back to flip the other way, and there we are. So we've got our two buttons right here, and let's just go ahead and test them out. And boom, there we go. We're walking left and right with our touch controls. Very good. So now let's go ahead and we'll just use these other images I grabbed in. We'll make this the spear attack, and we'll make this the knife attack. And so we're just going to go grab this. We're going to uncheck movable, come into the behaviors, grab our walk left behavior, and we'll just call this spear attack. And we're just going to go ahead and grab game.spear. And the same down here, game.spear. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead into this other actor. And we're going to go ahead and grab this code. And this is going to be knife. And we're just going to change this to game.knife and game.knife. And we'll go ahead and put these two buttons on the scene over here. And we will drag them out here. And this will simulate our different attack buttons. And so spear, knife, there we go. Walking and facing our attacks. And so that's pretty much all you need to do to build out touch controls. It's just a simple same condition, no values. We're just using external attributes to replace the keyboards in our control logic branch. And we just had to create a couple external attributes and didn't have to change any of the other code. This is what's great about using condensed variables like I did with the one a move trigger that controls everything. Now I can just build anything I want to control that variable as long as things don't conflict. And makes it easy to expand out your game. Now that I used an integer step, I can add as many taxes as I want without having to modify any of my other code. I can keep extending that integer variable out to whatever I want in that. It's that easy. So anyways, this is the end of this series of the basics of creating custom animation shapes. If you have any questions, you can find me in the forums under Lost Oasis Games. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps you make your games even more awesome than they already are. So anyways, this is Dave the Guru, and I'll see you in the next video.